feel like I'm in a V.C. Andrews book. Okay, I'm going to do something better about lights. That just makes me look crazy. Okay, tonight I want to talk about this new thing that happened about Anna Duggar. I don't know if anybody's reported on this yet. I haven't been around all day. I just got caught in a Costa Rican rain shower. I got to take a shower with my clothes on. Typical rainy season nonsense. It came out late yesterday and then earlier today that there's some of the Duggar phony baloney real estate things going on. The week before Josh was arrested, an LLC owned by Anna Duggar bought a piece of property that's just over a quarter acre and has a mobile home on it from the 1980s, manufactured housing. She bought this for $1. Now, I don't know how many of you people have been following the Duggars for a long time, but it's pretty well known that that's one of the things they do is this kind of real estate phony baloney when there's trouble coming. Before, when Josh was sued by the guy whose photos he'd been using on Ashley Madison and by a gal that he had paid for sex, I'm just going to come around and say it, a girl that he had paid for, man, my hair is really wet, a girl he paid for adult fun times, let's just put it that way. It came out that all this was going on, and Anna and Josh sold their house for $1 to an associate of Travis Stories, who was behind a LLC. So they sold the house for $1. And I'm thinking this is something very similar because you just don't sell property for that low unless there's something suspiciously squishy going on. Even just a quarter acre lot would go more than $1. I think $15,000, $20,000, depending upon prices in that area. I've got to say that. I've got Northern Virginia prices on the brain, which are probably even higher. So this was bought by Anna's corporation. Josh's name is nowhere on it. And apparently whatever is there, the mobile home, she hasn't moved in. She's been living still in the converted warehouse that her and Josh were living in with the kids. The one that they put the kitchen in, where you saw what a crappy job they did putting in the kitchen tiles, the subway tiles. So there's that. And they're saying that it looks like day. I know it's dark. You should see it. It's dark. Let me turn off this for half a second and see how dark it is. It is dark. It's dark time. Yeah, it's nighttime. 12 hours dark, 12 hours light here is what we get because we're close to the equator. So this to me looks like just another attempt to hide assets. What they're living in now is owned by Jim Bob. It's not owned by either Anna or Josh. So I look at this and I wonder, when did they know the charges were coming? I would love to know when everybody in Duggartown knew that, because that seems like it's probably playing quite a bit. Hey, Gam Gam. Hey. So who knows? Hey, Christoph fan. Who knows when they found out? But I am guessing that they had to know at least since maybe around the time of the raid. They raided Josh's business, and they raided his business. Of course, they had to know something, because my understanding is when they did the raid that Josh himself made some kind of remark about, are you here because of CP? So because he said that immediately, not wanting to know if Homeland Security was there for immigration violations or anything else, I think that probably Anna and everyone else has known for quite some time that these charges were coming. Christoph, here's what I don't know. I don't know what the land purchase is used for. It was bought for $1 by Anna Duggar. Well, not by her per se, but by a corporation she owns, an LLC. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe the land purchase was something that is business related. Maybe she's going to fix that up and rent it out. I don't know. My problem with it is I look at the timing of it a week before Josh is arrested and the dollar amount. She bought it for $1. This is like I just said, this is the exact same thing that they did when Josh got in trouble before. They sold the house to a Duggar adjacent attorney for $1. So that's exactly what we're looking at again. We're looking at the way that they do things. Shanna, I can't believe it either. Why would you say such a thing? Why would you just not shut the hell up? I can't for the life of me figure out why he would even bust out with that. Unless he was planning on doing a defense and saying, well, my brothers work here and we have other people, which I think they'll probably will bust out the trial and try to blame it on somebody else at the dealership. I think that's exactly what they're going to do. I can't see any other way around it. But in the meantime, when you start having all these corporations are buying and selling for $1, you got to wonder what's going on. Winter garden planted. Helping your neighbors. Wow. Okay, so it's been rumored that Anna has pretty much almost moved into the Reber household and she's staying with Josh full time. I don't know about that. I've heard it said that that's what she's doing. I've heard it debunked. So I think it's probably fair to say that she is staying overnight. There are some overnight visits going on. But is it just me or does she seem like she's been pregnant forever this time? Maybe it's because of the arrest. We're all thinking that she's been pregnant forever this time. I don't know. But she did buy it for $1. Maybe it's someplace for her and the kids to go that is not controlled by Jim Bob. That is nice, a winter garden. Unfortunately, here there is no winter garden. You just have rainy season garden, dry season garden. And we're in rainy season big time. That's why I'm soaking wet right now because of that. Shanna, I'm wondering about that too. I'm sure the stress is pretty horrific. And I'm surprised it hasn't forced her to deliver preterm too. How do you get land for $1? You get land for $1 when there's some kind of shady baloney deal going on with your family where you're trying to hide something. That's another reason that makes me very suspicious of this is the dollar. If there had been a purchase for $15,000, $20,000, I wouldn't have batted an eyelash. I would have said, well, Anna's making deals. But the fact that it's the dollar, again, we've already seen this several times with Josh's assets. And the fact that this was only in Anna's name, it's her corporation, and they can't claim any money against it. Oh, thank you, Gam Gam. It's such a pain in the rear some days because it, like I said, I was out and about and got super wet. I don't know, Christoph. What I read, they said that it was not determined who it was bought from, which makes me suspicious because I think that it's probably bought off of one of Jim Bob's many real estate dealings. We know that he likes to buy distressed properties at a huge discount. And I wouldn't doubt that that's what this is. He bought this at a rather fire sale price, and he's turning around and he's turning it over to Anna for $1. I wouldn't doubt one bit. But it is a little curious because it's not adjacent to Duggar property. So if she bought this for them to live in, then she wouldn't really be up their nose. But it might behoove Jim Bob to get her to move off property anyway, particularly if Josh is found guilty. If Josh is found guilty, it's just going to make things a whole lot worse for her around there. And unnamed Duggar insiders keep saying that Jim Bob and Michelle aren't even agreeing with Anna that there's even dissent in the family. Well, you can see what those sisters have said in their social media posts. They're like backpedaling away from Josh as fast as they can. I don't blame them. Would you? I mean, wouldn't you? Oh, goodness. Florida. Yeah, Florida. Shanna. Shayna, I live in Costa Rica. It's really hot here all of the time, except for when it's raining. A little while ago, it got real cold. Speaking of real cold. So I don't know that any of this means anything. It may mean nothing, but the dollar has got me curious. I'm not gonna say I'm digging, because I'm not gonna dig. That I'm gonna leave that for somebody else. But I am gonna keep my eyes peeled and see if somebody can make heads or tails of this suspicious, very suspicious. Christoph, no. And I've said this before, with my old Quiverful church, we had people that were doing a lot of different things that were maybe squishy that you wouldn't consider of with a church. I know somebody here, there's a very righteous guy that knows the Bible inside and out. He's a big Christian, and he pirates stuff on TV. He not only pirates stuff, he tried to show me how to pirate stuff off television. So I'm going to say with Quiverful and some of the more extreme religions, sometimes there seems to be a sliding scale of what is allowed, what is not allowed, what's bad, what's not so bad, and what's acceptable. I seem to remember in my old church too, everybody was constantly being besieged to join MLMs. That was a big one too that I would consider squishy. Very squishy. So I'm expecting more as the trial gets closer. And I don't know we're going to hear much, because I expect a lot of it to be sealed testimony because of the minors. But the land deal just strikes me as very, very odd. Very odd. North Central Florida, that must be nice. Something grow from nothing. Wow, 2 months buying them already. Hey, Ruth McMassall. That name makes me laugh. You just make me laugh. I used to always say when I used to have to deal with people from Massachusetts on the phone at the place I worked at, sometimes I'd call them assholes, because sometimes they were. So yeah, they're always up to something for sure. And I don't think this is the end of it. I think we're going to hear more and more crazy stuff come out. I think if the IRS or somebody were to take a real good look at Jim Bob's dealings, they might blow a gasket. Radio Free Mormon. No, I'm going to have to take a listen to that, especially lately. Yes, for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and go, you guys, because that was really odd to say. I had to jump on here and rant about it as soon as I heard it. It was like, are you kidding me? More Duggar doings for $1. One thing you can count on about the Duggars, they are the cheapest people on the planet. I thought my husband over there was bad, but apparently he is nothing compared to Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar. Watching their show through the years, buy used, save the difference with new. Just some of that. Does Anna have any assets? If he goes to prison, is she flat broke? That is really a good question, Shayna. Christoph, I love Love After Lockup too. It is crazy. It's a crazy show. I don't know if Anna has any assets. I know she has a number of LLCs. That's a real common thing for the Duggars to open LLC after LLC. And we know that they try to hide assets. They're notorious for that during Josh's several trials. They went way, way out of their way to have Josh own nothing. Even selling, like I said, Josh at Anna's house to the attorney for $1. It's just crazy, some of the things they've done. So I think I'm going to take a look at some of their LLCs and do some little trolling through the public archives in the state of Arkansas, because those are not closed, and take a look at that stuff, because it does strike me that something is going on here yet again. If the assets are owned just in Anna's name, I don't think they can seize them for payback. I think that it have to be joint ownership. And I do not know, I'm not an attorney, I don't know what the laws on marital assets are in Arkansas. In a lot of places, marital assets are held jointly, but not everywhere. So I'm thinking it's a strong possibility it may not be joint anything in Arkansas if they're doing this with her. Doing chores. Oh, Mandy, I've got to go do that too. I have definitely got to go do that. That and work on my masking. I've got acne from those stupid masks I'm constantly having to wear. Okay, you guys, think about it. It's Friday night. Everybody have a great time, and I'll see you tomorrow with my book review.